afternoon edition.
It is. We're a little bit late today because we both attended a really cool webinar. We'll talk about that later, but
Yes.
I'm glad everyone can join us later in the day because usually it's 12 Eastern that we are live on LinkedIn every
Yes.
Friday for this
Yes.
show, Friday Wins Live.
Yes. So we're excited that you are all here. And so, of course, with my dogs, it's never live without dogs barking in the background. So welcome to Fridays Live with Aubrey's dogs barking in the background.
It's good though. People don't get mad about hearing the dogs bark. They only get mad if you don't show the dog.
That's true. That
So
is true. But they, at some point, I'm sure that they will make an appearance. So hang tight for what I like to nickname madness, mayhem, and chaos. Those are their nicknames, and they do definitely live up to their nicknames.
3 dogs.
Three dogs,
What kind of
three,
dogs are they?
all rescue. One is a husky. That's a new experience with a husky. Um, One is a Great Dane pit bull mix. The other one is a chocolate lab pit bull mix. And all three of them are giant babies.
My soul dog, my favorite, I'm only saying this because my current dog is outside right now, was a Great Dane.
Yes. If you have never had a Great Dane, they're gentle giants and big babies.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody, today. We wanted to run through some reminders and share some tips that we have been learning for women who are in financial services and between roles right now, whether you've been laid off or maybe you're employed, but you're looking. Um, we like to share strategy and ideas, and we like to shine a spotlight on women who are between roles. And we have, I think, 5 guests stacked up for the next 5 Fridays. Some unbelievable icons in the industry that we're going to spotlight. So I'm excited about that. But today we're going to share
Yeah.
tips and takeaways from a webinar.
Yeah, but I'm really excited. For me personally, this webinar has been game changing in the way that I've approached my own personal job search, the way I have shown up on LinkedIn, the way that my LinkedIn presence, my visibility has changed, my voice on LinkedIn has changed. It's You didn't think that you'd need a class, you need a class. So hang tight.
Okay, good, good. I'm excited to talk about that. Okay, first, we want to remind everybody that in Athena's Council, which is our community for women in financial services, every Wednesday at 12 Eastern, we have a standing meeting. It's called Between Roles Together. And our purpose in that meeting is to come together midweek, help each other out with referrals, ideas, just supporting each other because when you're on this path of looking for your next role, it can be really lonely and scary. And it's just much easier to do it together and with your crew or your squad. So please join us for that Zoom on Wednesdays at noon. We don't record it. It is come as you are. It's casual. We do some cussing and discussing sometimes, and but just know that you're welcome there. And we just don't want anyone to have to do this alone. That's the whole idea.
It's it's
Um,
been it's been personally for me, uh it's given me comfort, it's given me routine because when you are working full time, you already have a built-in routine. And then when you come displaced, that routine goes away and you also become displaced from your routine. So it gives you something to look forward to, it gives you a routine, but it also gives you a built-in support system that is in the same situation that you're in. And not only do the community, we have a community app where I'm constantly posting there for support, but I also have a whole community that is texting, that we're texting each other, texting me for support. Hey, I have an interview. Please, send me good vibes. It has made a world of difference. So that's where you find your team. That's where you find your board of directors is on that Wednesday.
I'm so glad that it's made such a good difference for you. And I feel like also not just the support, but in real connections, you know.
Oh yeah.
I've seen people post in the community, hey, does anybody know anyone at this company? Yeah, I do. Here's my friend so and so. I'll text you that your resume is coming. So that's something that we learned about in the webinar today. I think
Mhm.
80, what'd you say, 85% of executive hires are referrals.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Which is
mhm.
frightening that
Yeah.
it's that there's more to get into that already, but there's a whole bunch of wasted energy that people are utilizing right now that we're going to help you stop.
Yeah. Um, okay. And before we get to those webinar takeaways, I wanted to make one more announcement that we also do once a month in Athena's Council. We do a LinkedIn Squad meetup, and our November meeting will be our 12th. So 1 year of the squad showing up for each other, learning about how to increase our visibility and build our reputations on LinkedIn. And if that is something that you want to do, please join us in Athena's Council. You can come to that Zoom once a month. And it's the same really as Between Roles Together in that you get a lot of support, new ideas, and a whole bunch of powerful women that are going to engage with your stuff on LinkedIn. So that's a really great community to be in. And I wanted to show a crucial tip that we've
Yeah.
learned in LinkedIn Squad that I think can help everybody out there. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen.
Mm.
And the problem that this solves is so if you're on LinkedIn, you're looking for roles, you're looking for strategic connections, um, your feed is just flooded with new posts, irrelevant stuff, all this, and you can just keep like scrolling and wasting time and just be at the mercy of the algorithm in terms of the posts
Mhm.
that you see, or you can be strategic about it. And so let me show you how to do that. I'm going to show my screen. All right, here we go. So I am sharing, I hope, can you see it? Oh, here, let me move
Not
it to
yet. Can't see it yet.
there. Boom.
There we go.
Okay, this is Audra's profile. And what you do is anyone that you want to make sure that you know when they've posted on LinkedIn. Now, that could be a strategic network partner, that could be a hiring manager, that could be a close friend that you're trying to support. This is how you make sure that you see every time that they post. Up here on the profile, here where my mouse is, you see these little bells. I'm going to click on that bell and you're going to be able to manage notifications. So turn this dial on, all notifications. That way, every time Audra posts, I'm going to get one of these little red notification alerts that she posted so that I can go to that post, I can engage on with it, like it, comment, forward it to somebody else. And keep in mind that that is a really great tool to clean up your feed, to support your friends and your allies, but also if there's a hiring manager out there, a thought leader out there, and you want to get their attention, this is a great way to do it. If you start interacting with their posts, commenting intelligent comments, sharing, even DMing them comments about the posts that they make, this is a great shortcut. So these two bells, click on all. save. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, and now you see your feed is now filled with all of the relative information that you want to see. So, me personally, I have been going through and clicking the bell for all of the Athena Council's members so I can see their content because they are posting amazing, thoughtful content, and I want to be sure to see it. So it goes now to the top so I can see that first. Then I can see all the other stuff that other people are posting because there's other thoughtful content that is out there too that when I find new information and I think, "Oh, this is something that's really interesting and relative," then I can do the same thing to them too. And then I also bring that to the rest of the group and say, "Hey, you may want to see this too." So that's how we are passing around information to each other and keeping us all informed.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, Audra, but I do hear from a lot of people who are looking, for roles, and they're like, "Man, LinkedIn is depressing." You know?
Yeah.
It's all a bunch of, like, puffing yourself up and talking about, blah, 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 and controlling your feed with these notifications so that you get pushed the content that's important to you from the people that are important to you is a way to kinda, I don't know, build a fence
Yeah.
so that you're in control of what you see and how you interact. So, I hope that that helps people, have a better experience on LinkedIn and make better, more impactful connections.
Yeah, especially that tip about hiring managers for target companies, all of that, because they're they're giving themselves away. They're telling you what you need to know. They're telling you how to reach them.
Mhm.
And not in a creepy way, but you can do it in a very strategic way on how to connect with them. Things that are meaningful to them. They're telling you. They're telling you what's meaningful to them. And if you do it right, you'll get their attention.
So much faster than a cold DM, a cold
Yeah.
email, or anything. Anybody, even these top execs, when they go and post on LinkedIn, they're checking those notifications and comments to see who commented and what they thought and what their ideas were. And if they see you showing up consistently, first of all, you get on their radar mentally, right? But then
Mhm.
also the way that the LinkedIn algorithm works is if I'm interacting with Audra's posts, when I make posts, even if Audra doesn't have notifications set for me, LinkedIn recognizes that we interact with each other, and my posts are more likely to be shown to her. And Liz Short and Dana Georgiou, they taught us in LinkedIn Squad that there's about a 2-week window. So if I comment on Audra's post, then for about the next 2 weeks, we're going to be seeing each other's content, seeing each other's comments. And so that's how you stay in someone's mind
Yeah.
strategically.
Yeah. Because LinkedIn has changed their algorithm. They used to reward critical mass. They used to say, okay, post every single day, and it doesn't matter what you post, just post nonsense. You can just post, post, post every day, and it can be just a quote, it could just be whatever, just show up every single day. Well, people got numb to that. Oh, see, one showed up. Someone's going to show up eventually. One of them showed up. Um, but they said to make sure that you were visible every single day. That is not how the algorithm works today. What LinkedIn is rewarding today is meaningful content that comes out of your authentic voice. It doesn't need to sound corporatey with all the buzzwords and all of that stuff. No one reads that stuff anyway. At least I don't read that stuff. I read the stuff that is meaningful, that I might learn something from, and you don't have to post it every day. pick a cadence. Maybe it's twice a week. If you can do it 3 times a week, but pick a normal cadence, a scheduled cadence. Uh, I do it Tuesdays and Thursdays because I can remember that part. Hi, Abby. So I do it Tuesday, Thursdays.
Hi,
I can
Abby.
remember. I can remember that part, and it's always something that I'm got a distinctive voice. I'm writing from a a transparent, personal type of voice that leads back to what I do. And LinkedIn is rewarding that voice by filtering it up to the top. I don't have a bunch of code buzzwords in it or anything. LinkedIn likes that. So find your sweet spot, find your voice, and don't be afraid to put it out there because that's what people want. That's what people need. They don't need more corporate buzzwords.
100%. 100%. Okay, so let's talk about this webinar we went to today.
Yes.
Um, Audra told me about this program with this executive coach, and her name is Natasha Voss. And you can find her on LinkedIn. Um, what is her website? Do you know, Audra, offhand?
I don't know her website. I always find her under her name of
Okay.
Natasha Voss.
Okay. I'm just gonna share my screen so people really quickly can see her on LinkedIn. Let's see. I'm gonna get really fast with this. You just watch. Okay. This is her. And Audra, you started working in her community. She's was an executive recruiter for big tech firms, and now she has a community, a cohort of people who are looking for executive roles. So Natasha Boss, there she is on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And Audra first told me about this a couple weeks ago, and I started watching the changes in Audra's LinkedIn presence, things that she's learning about in this cohort. And then I watched a webinar early today with Natasha. And what she had to say, I think, is super important for any of our Athena's Council members or friends in financial services who have been laid off or who are looking for their next executive role. Things don't work like they used to. Um, 85% of these executive positions are filled from who you know, referrals, and applying for positions that you see on a company's website, just applying through their ATS is going to be months of frustration. Can you tell me more about that, Audra?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, one of the things she said is stop. Stop doing that. You are wasting your time, you're wasting effort, you're buying yourself frustration, and self-loathing, basically, is what she said. Because that does not work. Because you are competing with hundreds, maybe even thousands of individuals that are faceless. And those roles are posted because of compliance. Chances are that those roles are already filled, or at least have a shortlist pipeline because they've been referred individuals that they already have on their radar. And those roles have just been posted because they had to, because HR, their corporate HR tells them they do. So that is an act of futility. So stop. Stop doing it. It doesn't work.
Before you heard the expert tell you that, before you heard Natasha Voss tell you that, that was your experience too, right, Audra? I mean,
Absolutely.
um,
100%.
I know several other women in Athena's council who are like, "Listen, I'm doing everything right. I've got alerts set up. I know the companies I want to work for. I'm sending those applications. I'm tailoring my resume and my cover letter for that position exactly. I'm doing all of the things, and nothing is happening. It's not you. You're not crazy. That system doesn't work anymore."
No. And the other tricks that don't work anymore. Remember when the system wasn't broken, you could reach out directly to the hiring manager and the recruiter, and they would welcome you. They would say, "Great, fantastic. I'd love to talk to you. Let's get a meeting. Oh, great. Thanks for being proactive. You've made my life easier. You've made this whole process so much smoother because you reached out to me. I don't have to find you." Now, crickets. Nothing. You're like, Is this thing on? Why is this not working? My emails always got answered before, or my phone always rang. Why isn't this working?" Because it's not working anymore. It's not you. You aren't broken. The system is.
So, um, what we learned in this webinar, I think the simplest way to explain it, and then I'm just going to say, because I've only learned about this for 30 minutes in that webinar. Audrey, you've been working on this for a couple weeks now.
Right.
So, from my point of view, after just learning about it, I think that what she's saying is you have to use LinkedIn as like your digital reputation, your kind of digital resume, and there are all kinds of strategic ways to do that. And she'll teach you how to do that. And Audrey, you can teach us how to do that so that the content that you're posting and the experience that you're posting, those things will, when someone refers you and says, "Oh, I need somebody in this role. You know anybody?" "Oh, yeah, Audra." Well, as soon as somebody says, "Audra Aiken, you should look at her," I look her up on LinkedIn, and you need that 5-second credibility check. That's what you're doing with your LinkedIn profile. Is that what you're doing?
That's exactly what you're doing. And you need to be able to present in the first 5 seconds who you are and what value you're bringing to your next role, not the description of what you have done. And it's not what you could do. It's this is the value that I will bring to you. So translate your wins because you all have them. Translate your wins into the value that you're going to bring forward.
So, I want to show an example from your profile, Audra,
Mm.
of this in action that you have done. All right. So I'm getting so good at sharing my screen.
You are. Look at that. Quick, quick, quick.
Um, I know. Okay. So this is Audra's profile. We've seen like the banner here, and this information is really critical. And we talk about that a lot in Athena's Council, but that's not the point of what I want to show here. Something I noticed today on Audra's profile in this featured section, these are images that talk about Audra's achievements. So the mid-market bank breakthrough, the first client in 4 years, a case study. And what we're talking about here are KPIs, reframe sales mindset from enterprise only to trust-led growth across new markets, established a repeatable, scalable approach for new client pursuits. You see how that so effectively presents Audra's KPIs? So, turning a loss into a $2 million partnership, reversing a $6 million loss risk and converting it into $5 million in new spend. Those that is what we're talking about, how to highlight your achievements in your featured section on LinkedIn.
And what I did is I took it one step further. And if that catches their eye, if you see in each one of them, I say see full case study in project section. So if you
Right there.
mhm. So
Okay.
if you close that and scroll down to project section, scroll all the way down. If that catches their eye, then you go down the projects. I've
Ah,
I've done a full case study on each one of them, and they can read the entire thing. They can read exactly what I've done. It has key highlights. It tells them the challenge, the opportunity, how I approached it, what the results were, and what we learned from it, and each and every one of them.
okay, so I know what people who are watching this are thinking.
That
Um,
looks like a lot of work, and you're right.
that's
It was a
exactly
lot of
it.
work.
That's exactly it. Okay, so how long did it take you? How did you do it? Do you have shortcuts that you can share with Athena's council members? Like this case study approach to KPIs on your LinkedIn profile is brilliant, and we need to be able to replicate your strategy. So, how can we do it?
Um, it took me a week to put together that profile, and I did it in bite-sized pieces. I did not do it all at once. You cannot do that all at once. I did it section by section by section. So, and you have to look at it, stand back. Is that quite right? Mm. And I should say this very important piece. You have to have a relationship with with your chat, with your what's the other ones that everybody uses?
Gemini,
Gemini. I mean, whichever one, whichever whichever one you're using, make sure that you have a working relationship with that software, because if you don't, it won't be as effective. That's been learning your mannerisms, that has been learning um, your quirks, all of that. I've been working with chat over the last, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years. So it knows all of the brilliance and downfalls of Audra. So it knows how to highlight and minimize the humanness of me. Um, and so you do have to have an AI partner involved in this. So you take it piece by piece by piece by piece. Like I said, don't do it all at once. Do it a little at a time. Um, it took me a week. Uh, you do that all at once. You have to check it, make sure that it's valid. And then I went back and did the case studies, because it's easier to, once you have that all done, it's easier to back into the case studies, because then you can step back and go, oh, I did that. I did that. I did that. I can clearly see my achievements now. This is a case study. This is a case study. This case study. So, and yes, I have a plan. Yes, I can show you too how to do this. Be patient with yourself. That I should say that too. Be patient with yourself. This is not overnight. This is something that you have to take your time with. If you rush through it, it will it will not be as good than if you take the necessary uh, patience and detail that it requires.
well, and remember, I mean, I think it's important to point out too that like your investment in this, your energy, your time in building this online portfolio resume of work,
Mhm.
that will serve you. Yes, it's going to help you land your next role, but that can serve you throughout your career, right? So it's not
Yes.
just work that you're putting in to forget about as soon as you land that role. But okay, so Audra, a month ago, you were doing uh, the search the old-fashioned way. The way that we just discussed doesn't work
Mhm.
anymore, applying for
Right.
jobs, all that stuff. Then you got in this cohort, and now you have been using LinkedIn the right way.
Mhm.
So tell me what what has changed? What have you seen since you've been working on this? What results have you seen for yourself?
Well, the very first thing is is something that is invisible to that only those that are around me all the time, that talk to me all the time, that notice, and that is mindset. Molly, you were the first one to say that. Is um, Audrey, your mindset has shifted, um, and I felt it. I just didn't know people noticed it. You did, but I didn't know that anybody else had. Um, uh, it was helpful to know that I wasn't crazy, uh, that this market is different, that all my normal tricks that had worked for my entire career weren't working. I thought, is it me? Am I broken? Did I suddenly get a lobotomy and I'm dumb? I mean, what happened? Um, so it's comforting to be in this group of very highly accomplished individuals. We're talking PhDs. I mean, this cohort has a CEO in it, a CFO in it, a COO in it. I mean, and these are people that are international leaders. These are extraordinary individuals in this cohort that I'm like, you're having difficulty finding a job? I mean, these are people that are from amazing organizations. They're having trouble where they literally in the past could pick up the phone and get a seven-figure job, and it's impossible for them right now. So it makes you feel like you're in good company. So there's
You're
that.
not alone.
You're not alone.
It's
Um,
not you.
it's not you.
You're not crazy.
You're not crazy. And being surrounded in that, um, you're you're rushed for support. So mindset first helped so much. Two, um, in the first, as I told Natasha this morning, after I finished my profile, when it was done, within the first 24, 48 hours, I had two recruiters, executive recruiters, reach out to me and say, "Can you consider these two roles?" And they were really good roles. They they may not necessarily be the right fit, but they're for my consideration, not necessarily them considering me considering them.
That's a mindset shift.
Different shift.
Yeah.
Also, as people are now referring me, the first thing people do is look at my profile, and then they're going, "Yes, please, let's talk to her. I absolutely want to talk to you." I spoke with the hiring manager today. First thing he said was, "Your profile is impressive." Okay, that works. Um, as I'm posting meaningful content, that is converting, and you can watch that. You can watch the conversion. This might be something we talk about in a little bit more in detail later. There are some hidden metrics that I don't think anybody is necessarily giving a whole lot of weight to that is important. Executives silently engage with your content. They don't necessarily comment, they don't necessarily like. What they will do is save or silently send your post. You don't know who they are and you don't know who they're sending them to, but I'm starting to notice that my content is being saved and sent through the back channel. So that's interesting. You don't know who they are. Um,
Well, that's where these roles come from, the back
correct.
channel, you know? It's
Correct.
somebody knowing somebody that saw this, that knows you. Um,
Correct. So it's not overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. It and she said it's not supposed to. For some people, it they get lucky and they find their dream job within 30 days. She's like, that's not normal. But your work compounds upon each other. And she says it works, it converts. Her recommendation is to stay with it so you never have to do this again. But some people hate it and they're like, I'm not doing that again. I've landed. I'm good. But why would you stop? I mean, I know it takes some time, but why would you stop? Because it it provides meaningful information. You're also building a meaningful relationship with an audience that is I think that has been the most unexpected rewarding benefit from that I never saw coming. That's been the most interesting outcome of this.
explain to me, what do you mean by that?
Um, People are engaging that I didn't think would.
Oh,
Like that and will they don't necessarily always do it out loud, but will send me private messages and say that that was meaningful. I appreciate you saying that. Or they will text me, and that really surprises me.
well, congrats, Audra, because I know that this, is gonna get you where you wanna go faster than the old-fashioned way of doing something, which wasn't working at all. But in addition, the strategy that you have, the mindset shift gives you so much more control and protects your confidence and is, I think, so important. It could be so helpful to so many women in our group.
Well, that's why I wanted to tell everybody because I was like, you don't have to be stuck. There is a way out. It's it's not a quick fix. It's not instantaneous. It does going to take effort. It is going to take some work, and you are going to have to step out of your comfort zone. You're just going to have to be okay with being uncomfortable. But there is a path forward, and it does work. Just jump in, jump in the uncomfortableness with me, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. And okay, and here's the deal too. It is uncomfortable, but you don't have to do it by yourself.
Nope.
Please DM me, DM Audra. We have groups of women who are doing this together that will welcome you with open arms. That way you can brainstorm your ideas, give them feedback, get feedback, and make real relationships with people so that these 85% of executive jobs that are filled through referral start getting referred to you.
Absolutely. The relationships that I have made through Athena's counsel that I have right now, I did not have 3 weeks ago because I put myself out there and said, I can, will you give me 10 minutes? I just want to talk to you. And these women are phenomenal, absolutely extraordinary, incredible women. And everybody has been generous with their time and have
That's
said,
awesome.
let's do this together. Let's help each other. Let's get each other out of this. Whether they have employment right now or not, everybody has said, yes. What can we do?
I love
No one
that.
has Yeah, no one has said no. No one has said, I don't have time for you. Not one
Yeah.
person.
Okay, so before we wind it up, do you have any final things you want to share about the Natasha Voss program? That's the program that you're working.
Yes. Go and I would say go and check it out. She did a webinar today that was an introductory one. She'll probably do another one. She does in the beginning of every month. She'll probably do another one at the beginning of December if you didn't catch it today. I highly recommend going through it because she does a phenomenal job. She is the I've been watching coaches on LinkedIn for a while now. She's the only one that actually had any sort of substance, anything um, that had any sort of of material that said something different that I could see that actually worked, that wasn't trying to sell a whole expensive package that said, work one on one with me and I'm going to sell you all this stuff that you don't really need. She's the she's the only one that's was real and offered a community, which is what I think that everybody needs right now. I don't think anybody needs to work one on one with a coach right now. I think that that's the last thing you need is more isolation. You need more people right now.
Who are
So
on your
that's the
same
difference.
path, you know,
Correct.
people on your same journey y so that you're not doing it alone. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's the only one that made any sense. And I can't say enough about her success because she's definitely changed the game.
Oh, we didn't know her before this. You didn't know her before this, did you?
Yeah,
No,
stumbled
yeah,
upon her.
yeah,
Stumbled upon her and she was saying something different that nobody else was saying.
yep. Um, well, I put this in the comments, but I just want to tell anybody the webinar that Audra and I watched this morning, I did get the recording already. So DM me and I'm happy to send it your way. Okay, so before it is Friday, Audra.
Mhm.
Do
Yes,
you
it is
have
true.
any exciting plans for the weekend you want to share?
Oh, there's a thing, unless you think dodging snowbirds at Costco is exciting.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that's exciting. I live in Arizona. It's November. It's snowbird season, so that's the most exciting thing I got going on.
They're all arriving.
Yeah, they're here.
They're all arriving here too. I'm in
Oh,
central
yes.
Mexico, and the snowbirds arrive right before the end of October, and so they are here in force now. But it's chilly here too. Um, but this weekend I'm going to be preparing. My family and I were going on a trip to Mexico City next week, and we're going to go to a music festival and some museums and the aquarium and just do like tourism stuff in Mexico City next week. So I'll be getting my music festival outfits ready and packing.
That sounds like fun. Are they teenager approved outfits?
Well, they did suggest they wanted me to try to look cool at the music festival. And I did have a few ideas early on in the planning, but I've surrendered to the mom. I'll be wearing jeans, comfortable tennis shoes, layered tops in case it's cold, and a backpack.
That sounds
So
great to me.
that's as good as it's gonna get. I'll be in mom tourist outfit, not music festival outfit. So
At some point, you're just going to have to be like, look, girls, I got the emergency first aid kit in the backpack. I've got water, I've got candy, I've got gum, and
and
I
the
got all the band
money.
and the money and the band-aids. It's either cool or the supplies. You pick.
Yeah, I think cool is the supplies. That's my idea.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Are you going to get to go to the pyramids?
No, I don't think so. We're gonna be there for 6 days, and, it's packed with museums and, aquariums, and then, my daughters like to thrift and flip clothes, so we'll be going to, thrift stores in Mexico City looking for the brands that they like. So shopping.
Shopping. That sounds like fun,
Yeah.
actually. Yes, digging through other secondhand things and looking for great labels is actually one of my new favorite things to do, is
Oh,
go do
they are
that.
they're full on addicted, and you would not believe the brands that they dig out of thrift store tables in small little villages in Mexico. I mean,
I probably wouldn't be surprised because, there's you'd be surprised what people donate with tags on.
oh, I know. I know. Armani, YSL, Prada, um,
Yeah, I'm full on full on down for not having to buy retail almost ever again. I mean, there's certain things you don't want to buy used. I mean, let's be real. But other stuff, why? Why do you have to pay full price?
I'm not proud of it if I have to pay full price. I'm only proud of it if I got a good deal. So
Yeah.
if I'm wearing a really fancy Armani suit and Audrey, you say, "Oh, Molly, you look great in that suit." I guarantee you I'm going to tell you, "Oh, thank you so much. I got it for $5 at the flea market."
and
'Cause
I'm
that's what I'm proud of, the hunt.
and I'm going to say I'm so impressed.
Yep.
Which flea market? Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
And
If
here
I
I
pay
am.
full price, I'm not proud.
No, and here I am. I'm turning, I should say, an old pillowcase into a tote bag because
Hey, hey.
you don't have to donate it or do something else with it. I'm turning it into a tote bag to go to the farmer's market.
That's gonna be cute.
Yeah. I was like, what am I going to do with this thing? Oh, I know. Because I learned how to sew during COVID. What did you guys do?
You could get, like, some rock and roll patches and put them on there and
Yeah.
everything and
You're
really
so smart.
elevate the look. Yeah, yeah.
You're a smart girl. You're a smart girl. I don't know. Picture of that might show up around here. You never know.
Well, thanks, Audra. It was great to do this